I guess you're facing another team that's started to get hot now, especially with the three-point shooting. So once again, defense is going to be probably going to be a key in this game.
Yeah, it is. Tech is getting healthy, and they really been playing well. They're shooting the ball well. They're shooting the ball well from three, and they, usually put at least 2 to 3 guys out there that can make shots. So, it is a challenge, but nothing that we haven't faced before. And the biggest thing is this group has responded. It has responded when it's needed to, and I don't expect anything different, tomorrow.
Have they responded these last couple of days in practice?
The thing about it is, again, we practice, we went hard, but to me, I want them to respond watching that film. I know people are going to get tired of me saying it, but what happens is that you got to have carryover. See, it's not always the court to me. You have to be able to process what you're seeing. Let's talk about it. Okay, and now how do we get this into the game? Okay, defense in particular is not only scouting, but it's anticipating what's next. You got to anticipate what's next, and that's part of the scouting report. That's watching the film that we watch. That's watching the huddle that we send you, and then that's knowing what's expected of your opponent, due to the scouting report that we've given you. And so you have to be able to process that and take that to the court. You know what I mean? Like, that's the most important thing. And when we've done that, we've had success. And sometimes, even though we haven't followed the script the whole game, last time we were on the road at Clemson, they did a lot of great things against us, but we stuck to our script the whole game, and we played a what was that, about a 50-minute game. We played a 50-minute game. That's what it's going to take to win down here in Blacksburg. You just got to put your head on what we're trying to do, and you got to stick with the game plan, and each guy got to help each other out. That's what this is all about. It's not about one individual. It's about helping each other, a collective effort. We talk about connectivity on the defensive end. You got to be pulling in the same direction.
It seems like, about 3 stops a game away from having a lot more wins, just in terms of the defense. And if you get a stop here or there, it changes the momentum. They've been 2 possession games late, things like that.
Yep.
I guess, is there a point where it's just like you're expecting it to click for them, the basketball IQ piece, the defensive piece, where they will understand, hey, we can't let up, we can't have give up these long runs in the second half, things like that they keep biting you guys so hard?
Well, I'm hoping that they pick it up. We're going to continue to go over the same things. It's frustrating, but I'm not frustrated with the process. It's nothing that, honestly, that I didn't expect. I think I'm asking a lot of different things from a lot of different guys, and it's probably new to them. I can't think for them. I can tell them what to think, but I can't think for them, when the game is being played, because I've been a player before. Sometimes what looks like something on the floor to me might look like something different to them. I respect that. But I also respect that if you see that, change it. From the standpoint of if it's gonna help us win, help us win. I don't have no ego about winning. So that's why I want guys to watch film. That's why I want guys to know what their opponents do, because they can make those in-game adjustments sometimes, where if it's a collective effort by the group, then we can do it. But we can't have one person doing something that the 4 others aren't. We can't have 2 people doing something that the 3 others aren't. Because to me, I think we can get better offensively, but at the end of the day, I think that what's hampering us from getting over the hump is defense. So we got to get better with that. We got to get better.
Is it easier to get the young guys, the new guys like Nate and Bai, to buy in what you're trying to do, because they're new to the college game and they want to make an impression and they want to get out there on the court as early as possible?
Well, I think that it's easier not because they want to make an impression, it's just easier because I'm their first coach.
Right.
So the habits that I'm creating for them and they're creating right now is stuff based on what they've seen from me only. So everybody else is coming from different places, and so the lack of continuity in the summer and not having everybody here on campus until basically 2 days before school started, that hurts you. But at the same time, we also got to understand that if we're going to all be in this together, you got to kind of, drop everything else that you had because it's not helping you now. And so each coach has a different philosophy of how they do things. And, my philosophy is my philosophy. So you have to prepare for the games. You got to prepare for the different situations the way I see it. And, it's been a struggle, big picture. Guys are getting it, but with them, I just think that the thing is that they've only had one coach. And it's always easier to teach when you've only had one college coach.
Do you look at how you play Nate and his minutes and stuff as you get into the second part of ACC play, where you're monitoring maybe hitting the wall and mentally with freshmen and even by to like, is that something that crosses your mind at all, or you just let them go and see how they do?
Nah, for sure. I mean, I think they both hit the wall already and then they came back. So, I mean, we monitor that all the time, and, it's our job to help them get through. They've been a big part of the success that we have had, so we got to continue to make sure that, we get them to the main thing, and that's to the games, and that's why, for me, you don't really and truly, you don't hear me talking a lot about practice, although we do practice. To me, this time of year is more mental than physical. Guys' bodies are hurting, it's only so much you can do. Now, we got some strategic things we can go do on the floor, obviously, and guys got to keep getting their shots up and, finding their rhythm, of that nature, and then we going over defensive stuff on the floor, but there's only so much bumping you can actually do. So, we're not only monitoring those two guys, we got to monitor everybody at this juncture of the season.
You've started to use both Kyle and Nate on the floor at the same time. What have you seen from that combination, and are either one the one you want to handle the ball more, one the off guard, that type of thing?
I just put them together because what it does is it just gives us a little bit more ability to get downhill and guys that can make plays. To me, collectively, we don't got a lot of guys that can make plays, and that's some of the limitations that we have, but it's okay. The guys that we do have can make plays. We got to give them those opportunities. So in order for that to work, that's why I've been playing together. Certain situations I might tell one to handle the ball a little more than the other, but at the end of the day, the ability for Kyle to make plays, and that, him and Nate, they think that's why they've had, some successes, playing together.
Do you feel like the message is getting through to Miles now in terms of just what your demands are from you? You said at the beginning of the year you want him to play like an all-ACC guy, and it seems like he's struggled offensively and defensively at times and not kind of lived up to your expectations so far.
I'm not going to say he hasn't lived up to my expectation. That wouldn't be fair to him,
Or maybe his.
I don't know what his expectation is. See, I listen, for me, it's not about what Miles hasn't done. It's about he still has 13, 14 games to get it done. And I would say from the standpoint of a standard, man, you got to have a standard. Like, what's the standard? Like, you got to have a standard for yourself. You know what I mean? And so I think, for me, I think that as a player, practice will reflect in the game. And if you're doing what you need to do in terms of playing hard and finding your shots and doing all the different things, like it shows in the game. And so my whole thing is that I want him to have carryover for that, with just the process of it, from the standpoint of it's not about going to shoot 200, make 200 3-pointers. I would rather have you go make 10 game speed threes, because that's going to translate when we play a 7. All I care about is how the game translates to how we play a 7. I'm not trying to win 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, what we're trying to do is we're trying to practice hard for about an hour, get our rhythm, find it there, and then for the game, that's when you got to turn it on. And so I think like what happens a lot of times, and I was the same way. And it's not, again, see, it's not about Miles. For me, it's about everybody, because I'm just different. They all learning me. Like for me, all I did in practice whether I was in college or the pros, I wanted to play hard and find my spots. You hear really good players say, hey man, I'm just trying to work on my game and get to my spots. And then on defense, I'm trying to be in the right place, stay between my man and the ball, and I'm playing hard because I gotta know what I can do. That's all I'm trying to, and that's all I've ever asked of Miles and any other guys. I ain't trying to win practice. If we're doing a drill, we're doing a drill because it's gonna help us in the game. I don't want you to do the drill to cheat the drill. Because if you're cheating the drill, I don't give you brownie points for winning the drill because I don't really care about the drill. The drill is a build-up to try to get you to have great habits. And so that's the fight and that's the struggle with this group, if that makes sense.
When you look at your guys on the offensive court, Ty and Evie, when they're down low, are you looking for them to be, it seems like they pass up shots when they have the chance to score, and at the very least, if they put up a shot, that's where the referees call most of the fouls. Are you looking for them to maybe be more offensive minded down there?
It's not a matter of them being offensive minded because I don't think they're offensive players. What I think that they got to realize and what they got to do is make a shot that stays. You know what I mean? Like, we're at a point now in the season, guys, where you are who you are. Let's not try to make somebody who they aren't. You know, and so I don't mind nobody shooting. I don't critique and I don't take guys out for making and missing shots. Just shoot the shot that you can make. And if they passing it, maybe they don't think they can make it. You know what I mean? So it's not a matter of that because their points say they're not big scores, and that's not what I looked at them for to contribute and help this team win games. And so, you know, if they can make the layup, cool. If they can't pass it out, I mean, they still got us an extra possession if that's the case.
Good.